The last 2 years for Braves fans have been disappointing, to say the least. Coming off a record-breaking 2023 season, one that saw the Braves win 104 games, the second highest total in franchise history, expectations were as high as they've ever been. But the sour taste of losing to a division rival in 2022 and 2023 was only accentuated when Strider and Acuna suffered season-ending injuries in 2024. And things only got worse in 2025. On top of the similar injury situation to 2024, 2025 saw some of the most precipitous declines from a supremely talented team. Almost every regular starter endured some sort of decline, and all of us Braves fans were just looking forward to the offseason by the time the All-Star break rolled around. Well, thankfully, spring training is finally here. And it's time to have a good, hard look at what the Braves have done to right the ship. Thankfully, Alex Anthopoulos works very quickly and secretively, and by the time any rumor gains traction, the deal is already done. Before we go any further, I do need to address the elephant in the room, the injuries. At the time of this recording, we are barely 3 days into full big league camp, and already 2 of the Braves' expected starting pitchers in 2026, Spencer Schwellenbach and Hurston Waldrop, are going to miss significant time, as will shortstop Ha-Sung Kim. And while the Braves' inactivity via trade or free agency seems like a disaster waiting to happen, we need to see how this pans out before deciding to give up on the season. Just to make sure we aren't prisoners of the moment, and yes, I'm talking about the team's recent injury history, let's take a step back. The Braves haven't had more than 3 starters record 150 innings or more since 2014. The last time that happened, the Braves' rotation consisted of Julio Teheran, Irvin Santana, Alex Wood, and Aaron Harang. Walt Weiss has said very consistently throughout the early days of camp that it'll be a full team effort. So before you lose your minds, Braves country, let the boys break camp before we give up on a season that's more than a month from even beginning. But for now, it's time to grade the offseason as it stands today. Could it change before opening day? We'll find out. But honestly, I can't see a whole lot else happening, and it is what it is. Let's start with the first big change the Braves needed to make: the manager. For the first time since 2016, the Braves had a managerial vacancy following Brian Snitker's retirement and transition into an advisory role. The 2021 World Series winning manager leaves behind a career in coaching within the Braves organization that does not go overlooked by Braves country, and the respect and adoration will follow Snit everywhere he goes. But business is business, and the Braves needed to make a decision. Do they go externally, like many people, myself included, wanted them to do, and bring in a young, fresh voice? Or do they stay in-house and elevate the likes of Eddie Perez or Walt Weiss to keep the continuity and the Braves way intact? Well, of course, they chose the latter, and while I was initially very disappointed, the strength in this hire wasn't just in Walt Weiss specifically being named manager. It was the coaches that he and Anthopoulos hired. Now, outside of Tim Hires and Eddie Perez, the Braves will have a new and decidedly younger coaching staff that includes respected, accomplished, and well-liked baseball minds from across the league. So while I was initially a bit disappointed with the managerial hire, the continuity of Weiss and the addition of some of the great baseball minds from around the league make this, for me, the most impactful set of moves that the Braves made in the offseason. And Braves fans, before you say, but they came from bad teams, well, that misses exactly what they bring to the table. Now, let's look at 2 hires that got the most ridicule from Braves country social media: Hefner and Richardson. While the Mets, the team with the second highest payroll in baseball behind only the Dodgers, won just 83 games and missed the playoffs in 2025, it wasn't for a lack of good coaching. Hefner worked wonders with a Mets pitching staff that, as a unit, had the highest ground ball rate and 4th lowest FIP in the league. And considering who exactly got the ball for the Mets, I'd say it's a job well done. Clay Holmes was converted to a starter and posted a 3.53 ERA in 33 starts. Griffin Canning, before suffering a season-ending injury, posted an ERA a full run lower than his career number. Now, I'm not saying Hefner will invariably be a better pitching coach than the Braves had in Rick Kranitz, but I really do like this hire. You could, however, make a very strong argument that Antoine Richardson taking over first base coach duties will be the biggest difference maker for a Braves team that doesn't lack speed across the board. Now, Acuna is no stranger to stolen bases, but Harris has well above average sprint speed, as does Austin Riley, despite what you might think. The addition of Richardson only opens up a world of possibilities for the Braves, as the Mets were first in stolen base percentage by a wide margin in 2025 and tied for fourth in 2024. Now, if you want one concrete example to take away from this section, it's to look at Juan Soto. In 2025, Juan Soto recorded 13th percentile sprint speed and stole 38 bases. He's slower than 87% of the league and swiped almost 40 bags. That's not a coincidence, folks. It's really good coaching. Now, as for the other hires, only time will tell, but the one I'm super excited about for no quantitative reason is Tommy Watkins, only because his nickname is the Mayor. Imagine his ability to connect with both the younger players but also the veterans on the team. Now, when it comes to the players, I have no issues with the roster as Alex and Walt designed it. We do, of course, have to reconcile with injuries to Schwellenbach and Waldrop and Kim to start the year. At the time of this recording, the Braves could still do with another starting pitcher and another reliever. But if this were the team heading into opening day, you should at least feel like this team can win 85 games at a minimum. And things may well change between now and opening day. But for me, the two biggest acquisitions were re-signing Ha-Seong Kim on a 1-year deal and signing Robert Suarez to a 3-year contract. Kim is already familiar with the team, and I'm excited to see a full year of production. While Kim hit just .253 with a .684 OPS, he played excellent defense at shortstop and is a significant upgrade offensively over Gold Glove finalist Nick Allen. And while Kim will miss the first couple months of the year, as will Schwelly and Waldrop, I'm excited to see a full season with him at short. Now, speaking of the trade that sent Nick Allen to Houston and brought back utility man Mauricio Dubon, it's a win all the way around. Dubon can fill in at shortstop and will likely be the opening day starter, and you have to believe that's why AA pulled the trigger on that deal. When Kim comes back, Dubon regains his status as one of the best utility men in baseball for the variety of positions he plays and the consistency he's shown in his career. He is a Gold Glove utility player for a reason. As for Suarez, the reason this deal excites me the most is because he won't be thrust into the closer role, at least immediately. Iglesias struggled for the first part of last season, but a lot of that, I would argue, is down to his slider usage. For some reason, the Braves wanted him to throw his slider more, and that pitch in 2025 got touched up to the tune of a .346 average and .1038 slug. Iglesias threw his slider 21.3% of the time in April, but by September, that usage was all the way down to 2.5%. His batting average against overall, thanks to his decreased slider usage and just generally regaining confidence, went from .033 in May all the way down to .08 in September. He will be just fine. But if he falters at all, the Braves can turn to Suarez. 76 saves in the last 2 seasons, both of them all-star seasons, from Suarez is a weapon to have in the 8th inning, let alone the 9th. While he enters his age 35 season and his fastball velocity has gone down slightly, his presence in the back end of the Braves bullpen helps Walt Weiss considerably when it comes to the late innings. Opponents have hit Suarez's fastball at about a 200 clip in his career, but haven't slugged higher than 366 against. Now, Suarez doesn't need to be anything other than the best version he can be with the Braves, and they will be just fine. I hesitate to say that the Braves are back because in reality, they never went anywhere. Over the last 2 seasons, the Braves have underperformed for one reason or another. Injury and a general lack of health is the popular excuse, but I've said consistently, it's deeper than that. And even the players have acknowledged that waiting on things to get better isn't a viable strategy. Call it a lack of leadership in the clubhouse, call it one really good postseason run masking an abject approach to the game, whatever you want. But the Braves have shown they're not afraid to shake things up without undergoing a wholesale rebuild. The talent has always been there, but with new voices in the clubhouse, a new leader at the helm, and some quality reinforcements, I'm more excited about this Braves team than I have been in quite some time. That's all for now. Braves fans, let me know what you're hoping these new additions will bring down in the comments below. And if you're not a Braves fan, drop a comment anyway, because why not? If you enjoyed today's video, a like is greatly appreciated, and make sure you subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.